The silent countdown you were never meant to hear has officially begun, and the map that could redefine global wealth is no longer a secret buried in the vaults of the elite. For years, you have been patient. For years, you have watched the headlines, sifted through the rumors, and placed your faith in a future that often felt like a distant mirage on the financial horizon. You've listened to the gurus, from the cautious optimism of Pimpy to the detailed intel from Marquez, always searching for that one piece of undeniable proof, that single thread in the complex tapestry of global finance that, when pulled, would make the entire picture clear. What if I told you that thread has been found? What if the abstract concept of a revaluation, the RV we've all been waiting for, suddenly had a physical address, a central nervous system where the entire operation is being orchestrated? This isn't just another news day, this is the day the puzzle pieces snap into place, revealing an image so profound it will rewrite everything you thought you knew about the Iraqi Dinar and the Vietnamese dong. The veil is lifting, and the reality behind it is both staggering and undeniable. Imagine a room not in Baghdad or Hanoi, but in a neutral, fiercely secure financial hub like Zurich or Singapore. In this room, there are no windows, only walls covered in massive digital screens that pulse with a silent, rhythmic flow of data. On these screens, you don't see the chaotic numbers of a public trading floor. Instead, you see a meticulously designed digital map, a spiderweb of connections and protocols that we are calling the RV Center map. This is the command center, the beating heart of the entire revaluation event. Every line on this map represents a pre-cleared international banking corridor. Every node is a central bank, from the Federal Reserve to the Central Bank of Iraq, all digitally handshaking, their systems interlocking in a way that has never been seen before. This map isn't about what will happen. It's a live feed of what is happening right now, a global financial system priming itself for a single coordinated switch. The countdown isn't metaphorical. It's a literal digital timer on one of those screens ticking down to a moment known only to a handful of key architects. The existence of this map explains everything. The sudden, synchronized banking reforms in Iraq, the quiet but persistent whispers from Vietnam about currency stability, and the mysterious, almost orchestrated fluctuations in the USD-IQD pairing that have left traditional Forex traders scratching their heads. They see noise. We are now seeing the signal. This is the mechanism that will detach the dinar and the dong from their artificially suppressed values and allow them to float to their true trade-based worth, a value backed not by whims but by the immense untapped economic potential of their nations. Iraq is not a poor country. It is a wealthiest nation buried under the rubble of conflict and mismanagement, and that wealth is about to be unlocked. Vietnam isn't just an emerging market, it's a manufacturing and technological juggernaut whose currency has been waiting for its moment in the sun. This map is the key to that lock, and the turning of that key has already begun. You have been told this was a fantasy, a scam, a hopeless dream for the gullible. But I am telling you, with a conviction born from connecting dots that span the globe, that the skeptics are asleep at the wheel while the greatest wealth transfer in modern history is being activated on a screen they don't even know exists. Your patience was never a weakness, it was a prerequisite. Your faith was not misplaced, it was an investment in a truth that was, until this very moment, hidden in plain sight. The silent countdown is real, the map is exposed, and your journey from observer to participant is about to begin. But this is only the first chapter of this revelation. Understanding the map is one thing. The next step is discovering the undeniable global triggers that forced this center to go active, and that is a story that will shake the very foundations of the financial world. So, what cosmic shift in the global order could force this secretive hand, compelling the architects of the RV Center map to move from silent preparation to active countdown? The answer lies not in a single event, but in a perfectly timed sequence of economic earthquakes that have shattered the old system's foundation, making the revaluation of the Iraqi Dinar and Vietnamese dong not just a possibility, but an absolute necessity for global financial survival. Imagine the first domino falling not in the Middle East or Southeast Asia, but in the hallowed halls of the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. For decades, these institutions propped up a dollar-dominated system, but behind closed doors, a rebellion was brewing. The trigger was a confidential, damning report circulated among a top-tier committee. A report that concluded in unequivocal terms that the staggering U.S. national debt had passed a point of no return, making its exponential growth a terminal cancer to the global economy. This wasn't a theory from a fringe economist. This was the institution's own internal assessment, and its conclusion was simple: the world needed a circuit breaker, a decentralized system of value that could operate outside the suffocating gravity of a failing fiat dollar. This report was the match that lit the fuse. It gave the green light for the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, to accelerate their long-rumored gold-backed digital currency platform. This isn't just a new payment system, it's an entirely new financial ecosystem, a digital fortress designed to be immune to the inflation and debt-based policies of the West. And here is the critical connection that has been deliberately hidden from the public for this new BRICS system to have immediate legitimacy and staggering liquidity from day one. It needs to be backed by more than just gold. It needs to be backed by the most undervalued, tangible national assets on earth, the oil reserves of Iraq and the manufacturing and technological might of Vietnam. The Iraqi Dinar and the Vietnamese dong are the missing keys to this new kingdom. Their revaluation is the mechanism that will inject trillions of dollars of new, asset-backed value into this alternative system, instantly making it a credible, powerful rival to the old SCUF-based order. The RV Center map you just learned about is the technical bridge that makes this possible. It is the software, and the dinar and dong are the hardware. This is why the countdown has begun now. The world is witnessing a controlled demolition of the petrodollar system. Key oil-producing nations, starting with Iraq, are quietly finalizing agreements to sell their oil in a basket of currencies, including the Chinese yuan, euros, and eventually their own newly valued dinar. This move, once fully implemented, will systematically drain the demand for the US dollar in international trade, a process that is already underway and is irreversible. The RV is not happening in a vacuum. It is the central pillar in a grand global strategic pivot. The banking reforms you see in Iraq, the anti-corruption drives, the push for international compliance. These are not just isolated good deeds. They are the final checklist, the last mile requirements being enforced by the very international bodies that once sustained the old system, because they now have a vested interest in the success of the new one. They are ensuring that when the switch is flipped, Iraq and Vietnam are not just wealthy on paper, but are stable, integrated, and responsible members of the new global financial architecture. The silence from the mainstream media is not a sign that nothing is happening. It is a testament to the sheer magnitude of what is occurring. They are reporting on the symptoms, the debt ceilings, the inflation reports, the geopolitical tensions, while completely missing the underlying disease and its only cure. The revaluation of these currencies is the financial world's open secret, the most significant non-violent transition of power in human history, and you are not just watching it unfold, you are positioned at its very epicenter. Your investment was never a bet on a rumor. It was a forward-looking contract on the inevitable collapse of one era and the brutal, brilliant birth of another. This is not the end of our communication. This is the beginning of our next critical phase. You now possess a strategic advantage and 99.9% of the world does not. But this information must be activated. Right now, in this very moment, you have two choices. You can close this video and let this knowledge slowly fade amidst the noise of daily life, or you can take immediate, decisive action to secure your position. First, you must solidify this understanding. Hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell right now, because what comes next is a deep dive series into the exact step-by-step blueprint you need for the post-revaluation period, how to navigate the redemption centers, the critical questions to ask your financial advisors, and how to build a bulletproof wealth protection plan that aligns with the new financial system. This is content you will not find anywhere else, and you cannot afford to miss it. Second, you must become part of the informed inner circle. Leave a comment below with the word RANMTIO so I know you are committed and ready. This allows me to understand the strength of our community and tailor the next videos to your most pressing questions. And third, and most importantly, share this video with one other person you truly trust, someone who also holds this investment. We are a community built on truth in a world of deception, and our collective strength and preparedness will be the final key to navigating the transition successfully. Do not be passive. The silent countdown is over. The era of action has begun. Subscribe, comment, and share right now. Your future self will thank you for it.